Good evening, everyone. Please be seated. Mrs. Tricia Tanis, Chair of Campus Council, Professor Clive Landis, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Winston Moore, Deputy Principal, Mr. Owen Ellis, Acting Campus Registrar, Ms. Lisa Aline, Campus Bursar, Deans of Faculties, Mr. Paul Ashby, Guest Speaker, Ms. Maxine McLean, President of the UWI Alumni Association, Barbados Chapter, Mr. Tyson Holder, President, Guild of Students, faculty and staff, new students, members of the campus community, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and a warm welcome to each and every one of you joining us here today under the UWI tent for this evening's matriculation ceremony for the 2024 cohort of students entering the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill campus. My name is Christiane Walcott and I'm pleased to serve as your Master of Ceremonies for this evening's program. Embracing social responsibility through ethical actions. A somewhat weighty, but an aptly chosen theme for tonight's ceremony. As we move through the evening, you will have the opportunity to reflect on what this means for each of you as individuals, for the wider communities of which you are a part, and how these values will help you to forge a pathway towards your own personal and professional integrity, and ultimately your success. Becoming isn't about arriving somewhere or achieving a certain aim. I see it instead as forward motion, a means of evolving, a way to reach continuously toward a better self. The journey doesn't end. These are the words of Michelle Obama in her book, Becoming. Students, you find yourselves here at the UWI Cave Hill campus because you are, in one form or another, becoming. In many a profession of today, often packaged as a meritocracy, where advancement is linked to and defined by a linear progression, where competency is assessed in one dimension, test-taking of increasingly complex material. It is easy to chart your success on a single plane, easy to link your growth and self-worth to the binary construct of pass or fail. But growth is not linear, and it certainly isn't binary. Readiness for what's next isn't an absolute. The fact is that we will never stop becoming, whether we are conscious of it or not. We put a lot of time, focus, and energy into the process of becoming a doctor, a lawyer, an economist, a physicist, and then what? With the lessons you learn on the path to becoming that doctor, lawyer, economist, physicist, how are you curating the rest of the journey? And it is at this point of rumination and reflection that our 2024 matriculation theme of embracing social responsibility through ethical actions picks up. I encourage you to hold this in your minds as you watch and listen tonight. As you will see outlined in this evening's official program, which we hope by now you've all been able to successfully access via the QR code provided. Yes? Yes? Okay, great. We have a number of officers of the university and the campus queued up to bring you very special greetings, each of whom will inform you, inspire you, and perhaps even console you in some way as you take these next steps. So let us get the presentations underway. The Guild of Students is the government for student representation at the University of the West Indies. And the role of the Guild President is to serve as that primary vessel that transmits information between the student body and the administration. It is a serious role and relationship and is treated with utmost reverence by both the incumbent and the various arteries of campus leadership. Tyson Holder is a final year student pursuing a BSc in Economics and Management. He balances his academic pursuits with civic and community service. He served as the president of the UE Students Today Alumni Tomorrow Vice Chancellor's Ambassador Corps here on campus, otherwise known as UE STAT, where he focused on fostering a sense of community and engagement among peers, coordinating with university officials and organizing student activities. As a member of the Barbados National Youth Parliament, he engages in policy discussions and debates, contributing to the shaping of his nation's future. Additionally, his role as a floor member of the Barbados Youth Development Council allows him to carry out initiatives that support youth empowerment and development. As a past national chess champion player, he applies the strategic thinking from the game to his leadership roles and strives to contribute meaningfully to the development of the region. Above all else, he is a lover of the performing arts, and more specifically, acting and singing. Perhaps he should be double majoring in the Faculty of Culture, Creative, and Performing Arts. Guess who the dean is? But importantly for you, new students, Tyson believes that he leverages his compassionate nature to be an effective student leader. Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver the first formal remarks of the evening, welcoming you to the UWI Cave Hill campus, home of the Cave Hill Blackbirds, where one flies and all soar. I now invite Mr. Tyson Holder, President of the Guild of Students at the Cave Hill campus, to address you.
Ms. Christiane Walcott, Master of Ceremonies, Mrs. Tricia Tannis, Chairman of the Campus Council, Professor Clive Landis, Pro, Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Winston Moore, Deputy Principal, Mr. Owen Ellis, Acting Campus Registrar, Ms. Lisa Aline, Campus Bursar, Deans of Faculties, Mr. Paul Ashby, our guest speaker, other members of the Platform Party, students, members of the campus community, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is with great pride and a deep sense of responsibility that I stand before you today as your Guild President to formally welcome you as a student of the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus. On behalf of the Guild Council, the returning student body, and all of administration, I extend a warm and hearty welcome to all our new students. Moreover, I would like to congratulate you on your successful admission to this prestigious institution. By earning a place here, you've already proven your dedication and commitment to success, which is no small feat. However, as you stand at the starting line of this journey, it is important to recognize that university life demands more than just academic achievements that brought you here, but that it also requires persistence, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to your goals. In light of the aforementioned, it would be remiss of me not to advise you of the challenges that will arise. There will be long nights, tough assignments, and moments when you might question whether you even belong here. But let me assure you that over the next 3 or 4 years, every challenge you face is an opportunity to build resilience that will serve you well beyond these walls. As you settle into this new environment, I encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and to challenge yourself, even if the opportunity seems unfamiliar or daunting at first. Often, it's the unexpected paths that lead to the most rewarding experiences. If you had told me at the beginning of my university journey that I would now be standing as Guild President, I would not have even been able to give you a response. However, it was by stepping out of my comfort zone and joining the Vice Chancellor Ambassador Corps that I was able to develop my leadership and public speaking skills. I then went on to serve as the Vice President of CARICOM Relations and later on as President. It is at this juncture that I now stand before you as President of the Guild of Students, with a council that has become a family of all different nationalities that I wouldn't trade for the world. I must also add that I was strongly encouraged by my Island Association President, Mr. Renan Hackett, to participate in the Caribbean Majesty pageant put on by the International Affairs Committee, where I represented the Barbados Student Association. And despite all the nerves and hesitation, I went on to achieve first runner-up and best talent, which reignited my passion for singing and performing arts. I say this to say that growth happens when we push our boundaries and face the unknown with courage and determination. I go on to say that it is crucial that you build strong relationships, strong and supportive relationships. Your peers will be your greatest allies during this time. The friendships you make here will not only provide support, but will also enrich your life in countless ways. Whether you form study groups or have social interactions, these friends are the people who will share your joys and challenges. It is also imperative that you manage your time and energy wisely. University life can be demanding with its academic pressures, social obligations, and personal responsibilities, all competing for your attention. However, you must learn to prioritize what matters most and not be afraid when to say no when necessary, something that I am still learning to do. Balance is key. Make time for your studies, but also for your health and your relationships. If you struggle with anxiety like myself, I would like to advise you that the greatest way to overcoming it is by managing your mindset, by training your mind to believe you can overcome any situation that is presented to you. Your mental health needs just as much care as your physical health. On that note, I wish to also remind you that rest is extremely important because burnout is very real. Once again, I urge you to take full advantage of the resources available to you, whether it's joining clubs, participating in sports, attending workshops, or simply engaging with the Office of Student Services and Development and the Student Enrollment and Retention Unit. As your Guild President, I want you to know that the Guild is here to support you every step of the way. We are committed to ensuring that your voice is heard and that your concerns are addressed. Whether it is academic issues, social events, or personal matters, the Guild is your platform to make your university experience the best that it can be. We believe in the power of unity and collective action, and we are here to advocate for your rights and interests. I encourage you to participate in Guild initiatives from the various committees and supporting my Vice President, Ms. Rihanna Dupini, with responsibility for the Interclub Committee by joining various clubs, your island or country association, as well as any others you may want to learn more about. There will be moments of joy, moments of doubt, and moments of triumph. Embrace them all, for they will shape you into the person you are meant to become. You have been given a unique opportunity to learn, to grow, and to make a difference. Make the most of it. Be bold, be resilient, and always believe in your ability to succeed. This is your time to shine, and I have no doubt that each and every one of you will make your mark on this university and beyond. Once again, welcome to our university community. I wish you all the very best in all your studies and all your endeavors. Together we can make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyson. Much food for thought there. And he's done an excellent job of framing up what your university years have the potential to be. As a proud Libran, we know the virtue and value of keeping those scales of life in balance. A healthy serving of reality can do the body good. So while we're here to encourage you this evening, it doesn't necessarily mean that the goal is to romanticize your student experience. The next 3, 4, 5 years will also be fraught with fear and doubt, as Tyson mentioned, but this is as much an expected part of the journey as the Guild Fetes that I'm sure so many of you have started to pencil into your calendars. One of the first reality checks you will likely get is this. Readiness doesn't guarantee the outcome that you set your sights on. Readiness doesn't guarantee the outcome that you set your sights on. No one in this room started this journey because they thought it would be easy, I'm assuming. And no one started this journey with the goal of failure. As you pursue a path where readiness and merit don't always align with opportunity, and where failure is inevitable at one juncture or another, what stories are you telling yourself? And who are you becoming as a result? Remember, these stories can be formative. No matter what story you tell yourself about yourself, you will find evidence to support it. On those days when you're feeling low or things are going badly, it is easy to tell ourselves that we don't belong or that we're not good enough. I say again, these stories can be formative. So take care how you speak to yourselves in those vulnerable moments. There will be setbacks, and it is important to acknowledge that there will be setbacks. They can reduce you, or you can use them to grow. Either way, they're a part of your becoming. Either way, what you tell yourself about them is formative. So whisper gentle stories to yourself when you feel the sting of self-doubt or taste the bitterness of failure. And then find it within yourselves to respond from a place of purpose and power. The Guild President has offered his own sage advice and recipes for a successful tenure here at Cave Hill, both academically and socially. At the other end of the spectrum is the voice of the UWI alumni. You can see them as the bookends of your university journey. And so I ask you to embrace that alumni voice as well, as this now forms a part of your lifelong identity. Ms. Maxine McLean is a now retired management consultant who founded her own consulting firm, Strategic Interventions Incorporated, in 1999. She is a former lecturer in the Department of Management Studies here at Cave Hill, where she taught for 17.5 years. She is a graduate of the UWI Cave Hill campus, where she received upper second class honors in public administration in 1978. She was awarded an OAS fellowship in 1979 to undertake graduate work at Ohio University, where she received her MBA in 1981 and a master's in international affairs in 1982. She also received a Fulbright fellowship to Louisiana State University in 1986. During her academic career, she taught several management courses at UWI within the Department of Management Studies, in the Executive MBA and Executive Development programs of the Center for Management Development, the Barbados Institute of Management and Productivity, or BIMAP, and Louisiana State University. Of particular note, she introduced the teaching of entrepreneurship at the Cave Hill campus. And as a management consultant, she was contracted to develop the Student Entrepreneurial Empowerment Development, or SEED program, here at the Cave Hill campus, which is still being successfully administered here today. Ms. McLean has also given yeoman public service as a former cabinet minister in the David Thompson-led administration, serving as a minister in the Prime Minister's office in January 2008, and she was appointed leader of government business in the Senate. On November 24, 2008, Senator McLean was appointed Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade and served in both capacities until May 24, 2018. Ms. McLean has contributed to the growth and development of several large corporations and small businesses across Barbados through her multiple board memberships, and she has maintained a keen interest and activity in harnessing the power and potential that exists in the youth entrepreneurship space in particular. In keeping with the entrepreneur that she herself is, she was one of the executive producers of the 2019 critically acclaimed movie, Joseph, which was shot in Jamaica, Barbados, and 3 cities in Ghana, sparking her interest in further collaboration with creatives in Ghana and Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, both a former president of the Alumni Association in bygone years and now serving as chapter president once again, please welcome Ms. Maxine McLean to the podium to make her remarks.
Ms. Christiane Walcott, Master of Ceremonies, Mrs. Trisha Tannis, Chairman of Campus Council, Professor R. Clive Landis, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Winston Moore, Deputy Principal, Mr. Owen Ellis, Campus Registrar Acting, Ms. Lisa Aline, Campus Bursar, Deans of Faculties, Dr. Sherma Roberts, Interim Director, School of Graduate Studies and Research, Mr. Paul Ashby, Guest Speaker, Mr. Tyson Holder, President of Guild of Students, faculty and staff, students, members of the campus community, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to address the 2024 cohort of new students in this matriculation exercise. 1 year has gone very quickly. It seems like it was only a few months ago that I stood before the 2023 cohort. On behalf of the executive of the UWI Alumni Association Barbados chapter, I welcome you to the Cave Hill campus. Last year, the University of the West Indies celebrated its 75th anniversary, and the Cave Hill campus celebrated its 60th anniversary. As I prepared this speech today, I was reminded, and I'm happy to say, that this year I celebrate 50 years of association with the Cave Hill campus. And I am very comfortable sharing that fact, that in September 1974, I too came to the campus as a new student. It is my wish that one day you can boast of such a relationship with the University of the West Indies, and more especially the Cave Hill campus. The members of the executive of the Alumni Association are proud volunteers and feel particularly fortunate to have been associated with this institution and desire to continue that association in their capacity as volunteers on the executive. We are, in fact, a mix of graduates of long ago and others of more recent vintage. In my case, as you heard, I speak to you as an alumna, a former lecturer, and twice president of the UWI-AA. Like my colleagues in the Alumni Association, I have a deep love of this campus. It is our hope that this institution will become a significant part of your life starting today. And if I could say something about the Cave Hill experience, you have arrived at Cave Hill at a time in which there is significant volatility domestically, regionally, and internationally. I ask that you take some time to stay abreast of global developments, especially those that will impact you and our region. Your sojourn at Cave Hill must be more than a paper chase. Pursue true education and knowledge acquisition. I also want to suggest that your experience at Cave Hill will be life-changing on several levels. However, that experience on this campus will be largely what you make it. Embrace the changes that it brings. Open your hearts and minds to what may be new to you. And for those leaving home and traveling here, and those leaving school, embrace your new freedom. Of course, remember that secondary school had its restrictions. Campus life is different. For those arriving from around the region and beyond, you will miss your family and friends. I assure you that you will soon find new friends and family away from home. I particularly ask those students we describe as mature students who have worked and so on before coming to campus, especially those from Barbados, adopt a classmate who might be away from family for the first time. I also want to recommend that you focus on your physical and mental health. These are critical to ensuring that you not only survive, but thrive as you experience the rigors of your studies. And let me say that the campus is located where there are several relaxing spaces within reach. And I invite you to join us, although we're retired, to take advantage. And when I say us, that's a group of people. I spend an hour almost every day of the week on the nearby beaches. I look forward to you becoming very actively involved in the life of the campus community and the community around the campus. And for students who are visiting the campus for the first time and visiting Barbados for the first time, I want to say a special welcome. And to all your relatives and friends and supporters who will see or hear about this exercise, I extend best wishes. Finally, as you become part of the campus, you are in effect becoming part of the alumni family, a family which has continued to fly the flag of the University of the West Indies and to demonstrate a commitment to its welfare. After graduation, I invite you to join the Alumni Association. And while on campus, the UWI executive looks forward to your support of our initiatives. As I close, on behalf of the executive and members of the UWI Barbados chapter, again, I extend to all new students, your relatives, friends, and well-wishers a very warm welcome. It is our wish that you will have an exciting time on campus. Even though I mentioned I did this 50 years ago, I still recall the beginning of what was and what should be for you. An exciting journey. Please make the most of it. Thank you for hearing me, and I look forward to meeting you at our various events and beyond that in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. McLean, for your very inspiring words. One very obvious sub-theme that has run through everyone's remarks thus far tonight has been that of resilience. And it is indeed a thread that binds us all together, regardless of the context of that resilience. And having arrived at the midpoint of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season, it is the word that is foremost on our minds. Let me be clear and state that being resilient doesn't mean you aren't affected. Indeed, you will be, and that's okay. Your brand of resilience will look different from the next person's, and that's okay too. Taking a beat before you get back up is a form of resilience. Taking one step at a time is also a form of resilience. And so, as I introduce the next speaker, resilience is the word that most readily comes to mind. Some days, I'm sure, it might feel as though his tenure has been defined by one form of crisis management or another. But he rises to each challenge just as he has carefully shepherded this campus into its post-COVID reality. Well, perhaps not post-COVID, but we've certainly found a viable path towards living and working face-to-face alongside our COVID realities. Now in the fourth year of his tenure as principal, Professor Clive Landis is leading the Cave Hill campus through the season we call the Revenue Revolution. And what does this mean for the campus? It means creating value from our ideas. And what will it take? Well, it takes you and me and him and her. It takes all of us to ensure the sustainability of this campus and of this institution. With that said, it is now my great pleasure to invite Professor Clive Landis, campus principal, to address you.
Thank you very much, Chair of the ceremonies, Christiane Walcott, Mrs. Tricia Tannis, Chair of Campus Council, Professor Winston Moore, Deputy Principal, Mr. Owen Ellis, Acting Campus Registrar, Ms. Lisa Aline, Campus Bursar, Deans of Faculties, Mr. Paul Ashby, Guest Speaker, Ms. Maxine McLean, President of the UWI Alumni Association Barbados Chapter, Mr. Tyson Holder, President, Guild of Students, our esteemed and dedicated faculty and staff, members of the campus community, and most importantly, our newest and brightest students. Members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I think we do that again. Good evening. Good evening, and a very warm welcome to the UWI Cave Hill campus. It is my utmost pleasure and privilege to greet you at the start of your university life. What an absolute delight to see each and every one of you. The matriculation ceremony is a momentous occasion, as we gather to formally celebrate your matriculation into this institution. You have all reached this point through your hard work, dedication, and perseverance. I join in celebrating what you have achieved so far, and I encourage you to let this milestone be a testament to your enormous potential. Today, we also salute those who have helped you reach this juncture, particularly your families, friends, teachers, and mentors who have stood by you and cheered you on. Matriculation marks the beginning of an exciting journey at the UWI. Here at the Cave Hill campus, you will receive a world-class education designed to challenge and inspire you. I invite you to dive headfirst into this experience. Engage deeply with your studies, participate in campus activities, and embrace the diverse opportunities that await you. This year's ceremony is being held under the theme, Embracing Social Responsibility Through Ethical Action. So as you journey with us through this phase of life, I urge you on 5 areas. 1, gain awareness. Gain awareness of the social, environmental, and economic issues affecting not just our country but our world. Knowledge is the first step towards making a difference. Secondly, act with integrity. Make decisions that reflect honesty, fairness, and respect for others. Your actions, big or small, can have a significant impact. Thirdly, promote sustainability. Adopt ecologically friendly practices in your daily life and use your platform as a UWI student to encourage others to do likewise. You can make a difference towards a healthier planet. Fourthly, advocate for justice. Stand up against inequality and injustice. Use your voice to support causes that promote fairness and human rights. Fifthly, engage in community service. The UWI is a public institution with a clearly understood developmental mission for the Caribbean, evoking the Ubuntu philosophy, I am because we are. Our meaning and purpose as a university is derived in relationship to those around us. As a public university deeply rooted in Caribbean society, both for and of the people. Volunteerism for a UWI student is therefore part of your new identity. For many of our Barbadian students, this will take the shape of the participation in the Give Back program. Others may participate in other ways, some in internship opportunities, which can be invaluable real-world experiences to round out your theoretical knowledge with practical insights as you chart your steps in your career. Whether through Give Back or other forms of volunteerism, engaging in real-world service in the community is the embodiment of what it means for a UWI student to embrace social responsibility through ethical action. Students, we are living in a dynamic era characterized by rapid advancements in technology, shifting socio-political and economic landscapes, and narratives about culture that constantly evolve. The rise of artificial intelligence is transforming industries and reshaping the way that we work and live, including the university teaching and learning environment. Here at Cave Hill, we believe in preparing you for these changes. We aim to equip you with AI literacy, enabling you to harness the power of AI, to use it creatively and transparently, acknowledging when and where you have used AI, and doing so in your assignments with the assent of your lecturer. I urge you not to fear AI, but to understand its use and integrate it into your study and work as a tool that can amplify your potential. Our goal as a region should be to deploy AI effectively and responsively as a tool to attract global business to the region, while exporting our strong Caribbean values and creativity into the global imagination. During your life as a UWI student, you may encounter moments of doubt and uncertainty. Remember, however, that you are not alone. Our academic advising services are here to support you. Do not hesitate to reach out when you need guidance and counseling. The Cave Hill campus also offers medical services through the Student Health Clinic. As you navigate the challenges and triumphs that lie ahead, know that your university stands as the firm foundation beneath your feet, supporting you every step of the way. Our mission is to equip you not only with the theoretical knowledge, but also the attributes needed to succeed in the future world of work. Our university is committed to developing the 7 attributes of the distinctive UWI graduate: being a critical and creative thinker, an effective communicator, IT skilled and information literate, innovative and entrepreneurial, globally aware and well-grounded in regional identity, socially, culturally, and environmentally responsible, and finally, guided by strong ethical values. These attributes will empower you to address pressing issues like climate change, a cause championed by this country's own Prime Minister, Mir Omar Motley. The recent devastation from Hurricane Beryl is a stark reminder of the importance of these issues and the role you will need to play to help build a resilient and sustainable future. And while much emphasis is placed on preserving the physical environment that is under threat in the Caribbean, the UWI is also deeply committed to preserving the intangible heritage that is so much part of our identity in the Caribbean. The UWI's commitment to preserving and celebrating Barbadian culture, for example, is exemplified in initiatives such as the Landship Certification Program. This short certificate program, developed in partnership with the National Cultural Foundation, is offering persons the opportunity to become certified teachers in the historical landship movement. We are very proud in the administration of the Cave Hill Faculty of Culture, Creative and Performing Arts, our newest faculty, for its part in helping to revitalize this critical part of Barbados' intangible heritage. You can give Adina Combo a clap. Additionally, the Today in Bajan History radio series, based on extensive research and presented by staff and students in the Department of History and Philosophy, highlights. I see Professor Ochieng Odiambo is getting in on the act, Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Education. We'll get to your clap just in a minute. Highlights important events in Barbadian history that have aired across the radio stations of the Starcom network, once again ensuring that our cultural identity remains vibrant and well preserved. Incidentally, Christmas is coming up, and Today in Bajan History is coming out as a coffee table book. So this can be your gift to your parents, your loved ones, it's all original research from our own university. In closing, students, I urge you to keep in mind that your time at university is not just about academic growth, but also about your development as a responsible and ethical individual. Together, we can create a positive impact on the world. Remember that the entire Cave Hill campus community is here to support, sustain, and encourage you. We could not be more privileged to welcome you into this vibrant learning community. You make us what we are, and we look forward to the fresh ideas and the energy that you will bring. I speak for the entire faculty, staff, and student community here at Cave Hill in saying, we are so happy you have made the decision to join us. Welcome and best of luck in your journey.
Thank you, Principal, for your very warm and welcoming and insightful address. At this time, we're pleased to follow the Principal's address with a video message from our distinguished Vice-Chancellor, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles. Regrettably, Sir Hilary was unable to join us in person on the platform tonight, but students, you can be assured that his thoughts and best wishes are with you always. We now invite you to view his recorded remarks to mark this matriculation milestone in your academic lives.
Dear matriculants, it is for me as your Vice-Chancellor an honor and a joy to welcome you to the University of the West Indies. This is going to be your new home. I welcome you, therefore, to your university family and to the network that will sustain your time while you are here with us. We celebrate you and we congratulate you. Indeed, we honor you for making the choice of making the UWI your place of study. We are aware that you all have choices to make, and there are many other fine universities in the region and the world, but you have chosen the UWI, and for this we are extremely grateful. Your journey here will begin with such a ceremony, and it will end when we celebrate you on graduation and you move on to your alumni life, meaning, of course, that this is the beginning of your lifelong journey within the University of the West Indies. You have much to offer your university, your youth, your energy, your maturity, your living skills, your intellectual potential, all of that you will bring into the University of the West Indies to make it richer, to make it more relevant. So you, for us, represent the finest asset of the institution, you, our graduates. And vice versa. We believe that the university has much to offer you along your journey, your intellectual development, your skills training, your advocacy, your sense of purpose, and critically, your commitment to the development of the Caribbean society and its people. We are still embedded in the nation-building stage, and your university was established in 1948 to be a central engine of economic, social, and political development. So we are a vehicle on which this region is moving to fulfill its sense of sovereignty. You'll be honored to know that your university is an elite university. And by that, I mean it is one of the finest universities in the world. But I hasten to add, while it is intellectually, academically an elite university, it is not, and I emphasize, it is not an elitist university. It is a public university funded by the taxpayers of this region. And its purpose is to uplift each and every citizen via higher education access. So we are here for the upliftment of all of our people. Yes, we have been globally ranked as the #1 university in the Caribbean, in the top 1% of the best universities in the Caribbean and in Latin America. And we have set our target that we must always be ranked in the top 5% of the best universities in the world. And year by year, we have moved 1.5, 3, 3.5, and we are up there in our targeted band the top 5% of the best universities in the world. And this is a major achievement. And we have achieved this status because of our academic work, our research, our teaching, our capacity to transmit knowledge, and importantly, our advocacy around development. So we are an activist university. And by activists, I refer to the university community, our faculties, our professors, our administrators, our students, all being activists around the major challenges that are facing our region and the world. We are activists around the issues of climate change. We are activists around the issues of public health for all. We are activists around the issues of food security and justice for our women. We are activists upon all of these platforms. That is why we have achieved a reputation in the world as one of the finest universities there is. Critically then, we are one UWI. 5 campuses, but one university. We speak as one. We act as one. And I encourage you, matriculants, I encourage you to take full advantage of the full U-reverse. Yes, you are enrolled on one of our campuses, but take the opportunity to know all of the campuses of your university, to interact with your peers and your cohorts upon other campuses and other programs. Embrace UWI as a regional university, 5 campuses, 1 university. And so I welcome you to your home away from home. I have confidence that you will be confident students representing the reputation of this university. I urge then that you embrace your regionalism, embrace the development discourses that we are in pursuit of to uplift our people into the global space of justice. I look forward, therefore, as I welcome you today, to seeing you as soon as I possibly can. Welcome to this moment, this first step in your lifelong journey as a member of the university community. As the Vice Chancellor and officer of the university, vested under Statute 5, with the authority to exercise general and specific supervision over the educational arrangements of the university, including authority for the admission of students, I am pleased to recognize all students admitted at the K-Phil campus to read for undergraduate degrees as duly matriculated, and all those admitted to read for undergraduate diplomas and certificates as having satisfied the relevant statutory requirements. I welcome all of you into the academic community of the University of the West Indies and wish for you every success.
And we, of course, thank the Vice Chancellor for his message. Ladies and gentlemen, we've arrived at our keynote address of the evening. And in keeping with our matriculation tradition, tonight's speaker is a proven leader and innovator, imbued with that special skill and insight for the task at hand. Paul Ashby is the Chief Executive Officer of Signia Globe Financial Group, Inc., a role he has held since June 2012, where he and his leadership team built a successful high-performance culture. Between 2016 and 2018, he led the seamless amalgamation of Signia Financial and Globe Finance. He has been in the banking and finance industry for over 30 years, with experience gained in local and regional roles while at CIBC First Caribbean International Bank. He has been a branch manager, regional sales and service manager, regional marketing manager, product development manager, special projects manager for Barbados Strategic Business Unit, District Manager for Retail, Wealth and Small Business, and has served on the Country Management Committee. Mr. Ashby is a graduate of the University of the West Indies Cave campus with a bachelor's degree in Public Sector Management and a Master's of Science in Project Management and Evaluation. He is also a former part-time lecturer and tutor in business strategy and policy at the campus. He has had active community involvement over the years as a member of the JC's, Junior Chamber International, serving in several roles throughout the organization, including West Indies JCI President. He has also served as the President of the Rotary Club of Barbados, 2017 to 2018, Rotary District Secretary, 2021 to 2022, Rotary District 7030 Assistant Governor, 2023 to 2024, and currently 2024 to 2025. Mr. Ashby serves on the board of GK Money Services SRL and Grantley Adams International Airport, and as a trustee of the Cave Shepherd and Gaia Inc. pension plans. So far, I think this bio might leave several of us feeling like gross underachievers. On the personal side of life, Mr. Ashby enjoys watching and playing most sports, relaxing with his wife and 2 sons, and he has taken keen interest in creating and facilitating personal development seminars for community and youth groups. Please help me to make welcome our matriculation speaker for 2024, Mr. Paul Ashby.
Ms. Christiane Walcott, Master of Ceremonies, Mrs. Tricia Thanis, Chairman of Campus Council, Professor R. Clive Landis, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Winston Moore, Deputy Principal, Mr. Owen Ellis, Campus Registrar Acting, Ms. Lisa Aline, Campus Bursar, Deans of Faculties, Dr. Sherma Roberts, Interim Director, School of Graduate Studies and Research, other members of the platform party, students, members of the campus community, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to be here this evening as a former student of this campus. In fact, I was last here 10 years ago giving a speech at the Student Awards ceremony. But I'm even more excited this year because I have on the stage with me a former lecturer of mine, Miss Maxine McLean. And I was there thinking, how many years did I do classes with her? So I did a first-year course, a second-year course, and a third-year course. So I don't know if it was the courses or the lecturer, but certainly, actually all those courses were in marketing, and I had a pretty long career in marketing as well. So the foundation was definitely there. This year's theme, Embracing Social Responsibility Through Ethical Actions, resonates deeply with me. I hope that sharing some ideas with you, I can connect to this theme and offer some insights that will benefit both you personally and professionally. So what happened is that I thought about what I wanted to say, I had some ideas, and then I saw the theme, so then I had to figure out how to connect those two things. Because this evening, I really wanted to share some ideas with you about your personal and professional development. So let's get started. I have about 10 minutes to share about 10 ideas, so this is going to be down the road in a swift time. The first 4 ideas that I want to share with you will specifically speak to 4 critical areas that you should be mindful of that will give you a jump start in developing your careers as you pass through these walls of the Cave campus. Perhaps you will have an advantage over your peers because you can start putting them into practice from now, even before you graduate. I also want to point out that these are not a one and done. This is not a one and done situation. They must be utilized and applied continuously over time. Actually, these principles I learned about 23 years ago when I was in a master's class here on this campus. I made note of them then, and I continue to use them even when I mentor people across all the places that I interact with young people. So I'll share them with you this evening. The first one is to be a lifelong learner. You're all here to learn, of course, so this should be an easy one for you to digest. However, the type of learning that I'm speaking of is not just technical or academic learning. It is more about being curious, curiosity learning, seeking knowledge for its own sake, for mind expansion, and not just to pass an exam, but seeking opportunities for learning outside of the classroom as well. Fortunately, you live in a time where there is no embargo on information. You can listen to podcasts, you can listen to TED Talks, you have documentaries at will on Netflix and other media. So for example, I am very interested in leadership and culture. I listened to a podcast by a gentleman called David Rubinstein. He interviews CEOs from across the world. But I also listen to coaches of basketball and football teams because I enjoy sports as well. So you can learn from different spaces and places, and you could choose places where it's something you have a passion for and that you enjoy. So you could marry your learning to your passions. So my first idea to you is be a lifelong learner and continue to sharpen your saw outside of the classroom. The second career idea that I want to share with you is to get involved in projects. Be engaged in some activities that have finite outcomes and goals, and where you can get to manage resources such as time, people, and money. I assure you that it will be your most valuable learning. It will buttress everything that you will learn in the classroom. And if you are serving on a project committee, you'll be exposed to some elements of your academic experience as well, no matter which faculty you're in. Most endeavors in life generally involve getting people to do something. And projects are a great way to experience and witness the leadership of people and the management of tasks. I want to repeat that. You lead people, you manage tasks, okay? So first one was lifelong learning, second one was projects. 2 ideas so far. Third one, embrace the idea of a crisis. Or perhaps I should say, never avoid or run from a crisis. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go around looking to cause crises. But things happen, as you would say, life be lifing, right? And you always find yourself in situations where you may need to step up to the challenge in a situation of a crisis. And I'm urging you to do that. Crises test us in ways that we would not expect. They allow us to learn more about ourselves, our ability to think quickly on our feet, ability to access resources and to determine who we can rely on in circumstances. The most important aspect of never wasting a crisis is that it builds resilience. And I think I heard resilience quite a few times on the stage tonight. It forces us to be creative and innovative. And it proves to us that we can handle more than we know and more than we believe we know. In fact, when you're in a crisis, you literally see yourself growing in the moment. So never avoid a crisis. It's going to be tough. You feel it's hard. You don't want to do it. But live through it, fight through it, step up to the plate with it. And the final one is mentorship. I don't know, it's like a crash course, but these are all individually important. It is just wise to learn from others who have done it before or experienced it before. And this can help you avoid common mistakes and advance more efficiently and effectively in whatever you're doing. Now, there are two aspects to the value of mentoring. It's the learning from someone who has been there, but it's also the accessing of their network. Because they've been there, they know people, they can get you indoors and places. I'm sharing this idea with you because mentorship has actually worked for me. And I think that you'll find that if you could rise on the shoulders of others, you'll actually learn some things more quickly than you need to. So there are the first 4 ideas I want to share with you quickly. Lifelong learner, get on a project, never avoid a crisis, and look for a mentor. The last thing on mentorship is that if you get mentorship, you also have to mentor someone. So you are a mentor and you need to get a mentee. So my next 3 ideas 4 plus 3, 7. Toastmasters, Junior Chamber International, or JCs, Rotaract, which is connected to Rotary. Now, on campus, I am aware that there are several other institutions or organizations, so I recommend those as well. So these are service clubs and community service organizations, two of which I have spent the last 30 years participating in. I can categorically say to you that my personal leadership growth and development has occurred because of experiences in these organizations. Through them, I learned meeting management, parliamentary procedures, effective speaking, public speaking. You learn to manage projects. You learn to interact with the media. You learn to debate. You learn to defend your story, defend your case, present your case, defend your case. You have people who are highly political in these organizations, so you learn politics as well. And in fact, the 4 things that I mentioned before, all of those skills you can acquire within the confines and context of a service or social club. But here's the most interesting thing that I will say to you this evening. These organizations are purposed for serving their communities. And the key thing is that the more you serve, the more you personally grow. The more you invest in giving to your community, the more you get coming back to you. It happens in a way that you may not imagine, but in the moment you are giving, you are also receiving. So your lifelong investment in service is actually a lifelong investment in your own personal growth and development. The first time I went to a board meeting in real, like in real life where it mattered, I was not nervous because I'd been to 100 board meetings in JCs and maybe 100 board meetings in Rotary. The most challenging place you could do these things. Because in voluntary organizations, people don't have to be there. They don't have to do anything. They're not obligated. And that's the most difficult place to lead. And that's why I want to advance to you this evening, that you can give of your time, your social responsibility, and it will come back to you in manifold ways. There is a tenet in one of the organizations that says, service to humanity is the best work of life. So the very last aspect of what I want to share with you this evening is something called the 4-way test. Anybody heard of that before? The 4-way test is a value system by which Rotarians operate or try to live, but it can be used for any circumstance in life. And it involves 4 simple but 4 profound questions that goes as follows. Of the things we say or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and friendships? And is it beneficial to all concerned? So for the purpose of this evening, I'm not going to dwell on the specifics of the 4-way test, but I want to emphasize the importance of having a personal value system. So let me be clear. If I haven't done so already, I want you to develop and write down your personal set of values. And this is something that you're going to build over time. But it will be core to you as an individual. Your value system is like your North Star. It's aspirational. It's the thing you want to aspire to. But at the same time, it's the thing that you're living through daily. It's like the guidepost for how you want to show up and how you want to turn up as an individual, how you want to be perceived. But the most important thing about having a value system is that it is your guidepost to decision making. Now, when you're in leadership, only the most difficult decisions actually need to come to you. And that's when you absolutely need your value system to guide you for difficult decisions. And when you go back to your paper that I'm asking you to write on when you leave here, if you want to put it on an electronic device, you'll go back to the things that you told yourself, this is what I stand for, this is what I believe, and this is how I'm going to make this decision. And that way you can leave every decision that you take at least with integrity. Not everybody will agree, but you would have a personal integrity when you've made decisions. So I think now is a good time for me to revisit the theme for this evening about embracing social responsibility through ethical actions. So the last thing I spoke about was having a value system which will guide your integrity and your ethical behavior. And I've asked you to actually take this as your first assignment for the semester. Write down your value system and build it over time. I also asked you about considering how you respond to your community for giving back, your social conscience. And I suggested to you some organizations. But I suggested to you that in giving back, you're actually receiving more every time you give. You will enhance your knowledge. You will learn through projects. You will face many crises in organizations, and you will learn and grow through them. And you will have at your disposal a wealth of mentors who've been through that journey already. So finally, I must say that I already have high hopes for this group of people here. I have great expectations for you because you are already seated in these seats here. You've been welcomed by your Pro-Vice Chancellor and your Chancellor. And I want to say my own congratulations to you on this journey for actually investing in yourselves and for coming to this wonderful campus. I think you will enjoy your time here at the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus. I want to urge you to get involved in campus life. I want you to get involved in your community here on campus and around the campus. I want you to get involved in making a meaningful impact, but also I want you to have lots of fun doing it, because if you're not having fun doing it, it's not worth doing it. And I look forward to seeing you all at the top. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ashby, for your thought-provoking and inspiring address, as we expected that it would be. And I just want to say it was a blessing to listen to you. And I really hope, yes, we should clap for that. And I hope it was equally inspiring for my colleagues as well as you students. Next on our program this evening is our entertainment presentation, but before we proceed with that package, I'm going to take this opportunity to invite the members of the platform party to exit the stage off to my right, please, to take up their seats in the front row reserved seating. Thank you. This evening, we will be treated to a dance performance entitled One Flies, All Soar, choreographed by Ms. Aisha Komashong, lecturer in dance in the Faculty of Culture, Creative and Performing Arts. This piece is inspired by the UWI Cave Hill campus's mascot, the Black Bird. This dance piece derives its title and creative essence from the campus's guiding maxim, one flies, all soar. The performance is a vibrant fusion of dance styles, symbolizing the harmonious diversity that characterizes the university's inclusive community. Ms. Komashong is joined in this performance by Gianna Fagan, Michaela Harrison, Danae Bascom, Miracle Williams, Shemya Oliver, Danico Martindale, and Josiah Haynes. This will be followed by two musical selections by the Cavite Chorale. And for those unfamiliar, the Cavite Chorale found its origins as a student organization managed under the Guild of Students and comprising undergraduate and graduate voices alike. Started in 1973 by Keen H.W. Springer as director, the Cavite Chorale has been producing music from the Caribbean and beyond to please audiences within the Caribbean and around the world. Under the musical direction of Mr. Ryan Boyce, their performance tonight will feature two arrangements. First, Lamonga Aminga, This piece was arranged by our very own Professor David Akombo, Dean of the Faculty of Culture, Creative and Performing Arts. Yes, thank you, Dean. It is a song from the Luo people of Kenya, a joyful and fun piece. It also acts to bridge any language and cultural differences when it is performed. And for Kavite's second number, Bright Soul. It's a selection which comes from our Caribbean family in Jamaica. This piece was done by the late Noel Dexter and has a percussive and rhythmic sensation to it. With the right emphasis on and use of the accent, the hook link, "Will make you turn back," is poignant. Please enjoy.
Imama, imama, oh imama. Zangalito boy, imama, imama, oh imama. Abladi eba, imama, imama, oh imama. Zangalito boy, imama, imama, oh imama.
Good night, everybody. Before we get started, I would like to invite Dr. Ronald Francis to join us here on stage. This performance would not be the same without you.
make you turn back?
bright, bright. So
What make you turn back?
bright, bright. So
What make you turn back? You turn back, you turn back. You turn back.
bright, bright. So
What make you turn back?
bright, bright. So
What make you turn back?
bright, bright. So
What make you turn back? You turn back, you turn back. You turn back. What make you turn back? 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 What make you turn back?
Turn back.
What make you turn back? 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 What make you turn back?
Turn back.
What make you turn back? 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 What make you turn back?
Turn back.
What make you turn back? 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 What make you turn back?
Well,
You come from town with Bible in your hand. Your Bible in your hand. Your Bible in your hand. You come from town with Bible in your hand. You go a river Jordan and you turn back. What make you turn back? 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 You turn back, you turn back, you turn back, you turn back. Bright soul.
Let's give it up again for the Faculty of Culture, Creative and Performing Arts and the Cavite Chorale. All new students, if you could kindly stand as we prepare to swear you in as members and stewards of this institution. The academic vow can be found at the back of your program. Please recite after me. I solemnly promise that as a member of the University of the West Indies, I will strive to follow the ideals of academic life, to love learning, to advance true knowledge, to show proper reverence for my teachers, to lead a seemly life, and set a worthy example of good behavior wherever I may be. Welcome to the KFL campus. I'll just ask you to have a seat briefly while we offer a brief vote of thanks. So, ladies and gentlemen, this brings a close to the formalities of the 2024 matriculation ceremony. We thank all of our featured speakers this evening, Guild President, Mr. Tyson Holder, Chapter President of the UE Alumni Association, Ms. Maxine McLean, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Clive Landis, UE Vice Chancellor, Sir Hilary Beckles, and of course our keynote speaker, Mr. Paul Ashby. We also thank those providing entertainment during tonight's program, Ms. Aisha Komashong and the FCCPA Dance Troupe, and the Cavite Chorale under the directorship of Mr. Ryan Boyce. So for Tyson and others who may wish to sign up, you know where to find Ryan. I think he's just off to the side. Tonight's event also would not be possible without the facilitating departments across the campus community and all participating external providers of technical support and allied services. The Office of the Principal, the Office of the Campus Registrar, the Office of Marketing and Communications, the Office of Institutional Planning and Infrastructural Services, Student Affairs, the Examinations Section, and the Admissions Section, the Office of Student Services and Development, Campus IT Services, the Registry, Office Management and Records Management, Campus Security Services, the UE Ushers Corps, Field Tech Staging Solutions, Lanique's Catering, and exquisite digital photos. New students, please be sure to sign the matriculation registers before you depart, which are located on either side of the handrails, just behind the general seating, and the ushers will direct you towards that. You need only sign one of them. There are several desks, so you just need to sign at one of them. And for those who've been unable to join us in person tonight, please be sure to encourage your friends and classmates to visit the Student Affairs Admissions Office on the ground floor of the Hilary MacDonald Beckles Administration Building, where they can request to sign the matriculation register. And I think we all know where that is by now, yes? Right. And on that note, I'm Christiane Walcott, and it has been my greatest pleasure to serve as your Master of Ceremonies this evening. Thank you all for attending, and do have an enjoyable night. And we wish you only success as your classes start next week. Students, I ask you to stand one last time. Thank you, while I lead the recession of the platform party and the academic party.